All right, good day, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me on this great episode of your favorite political talk show, The Truth with Ben Jokes. Now, insecurity in Nigeria continues to worsen by the day, and its impact on every aspect of our lives, which are, of course, entirely negative, continue to be more obtrusive. The sector that has taken the most hit from the insecurity in Nigeria is the agricultural sector. Most farmers in Nigeria have practically been chased away from their farms by bandits and killer herdsmen. Food production in Nigeria has drastically dropped. As a matter of fact, it has been on a decline for over 9 years now. What a disaster. And instead of facing this problem head on, the army came out yesterday to ask Nigerians to begin praying fervently for the Nigerian army to defeat insurgency. That is how you will know that we are not getting out of this problem anytime soon. Because the call for prayers is the signature move of the criminals in high places in Nigeria to dodge responsibility. And few hours ago, the United Nations made a very terrible revelation about northern Nigeria, which has left Nigerians talking. But to be honest, I wasn't entirely stunned by this revelation because Peter Obi had in several cases made similar revelations in the past. Before I show you what the UN said and how Nigerians reacted, let me quickly show you this video by this lady from northern Nigeria charging her people to wake up to the political and economic realities of the region as talks of regional government begins to gain prominence. See the video.
Dear northern Nigerian people, this is a wake-up call for all of us. If today they decide to make Nigeria survive on their region, what do we have in northern Nigeria? What do we have in northern Nigeria? I have come on here to talk about it several times, that the rich in northern Nigeria are not doing justice. They are not being fair to the poor in northern Nigeria. They weaponize poverty and make it look like it is a religious thing. Oh, it is okay for you to be poor. It is kadara. That is who we are. It is part of our destiny to have the poor and the rich amongst us. But the proportion in which the poor and the rich are in northern Nigeria is unfair. Sakani Allah, let's be fair. Let's be frank. Let us sit down at the table and have a proper conversation. Because if today, Anche, northern Nigeria, that could cheer the kanku, the abunda kuke, fitted the shi akasana, ubambe muke the shi. We have plenty bridges. We will start selling bridge. We will turn bridges to tourist sites. Roundabouts. We will turn it to tourist sites. Because if we do not have roundabouts, if you don't have roundabouts in your country, in your state, if you do not have new bridge made by every new governor, are you even in northern states? What is happening in northern Nigeria? By the time people say vote, we will say no, Kabila. No, let's follow tribe. Let's follow religion. Now that the economy has been turning on its own, how many times have you gone to the market and you have been offered free food because of your religion? How many times have you been offered free clothes because of your tribe? You're not sitting in your house. You now have lights. You're not paying for lights again because you voted this person. If you vote anybody, the person goes up there and doesn't perform well, you have every right to remove the person. But the truth is, Mue Arewa will just, Kome Abarwa, Allah, you know, this and that. I'm not taking out the place of God. I am saying trust in God. But in that, use your sense. Use wisdom. These people have used money to separate us. They are intermarrying themselves and spending the money that we're supposed to be shared equally amongst us, the citizens. Arewa, we need to wake up. Gone are those days, they used to come and tell us, oh, vote for this person from your state. If this person from your village is not doing the right thing, remove the person and vote for the other person that will probably do the right thing for you. And the person doesn't perform well, come out to the person as well. Thank God it's not forever, it's for 4 years. Northern Nigeria, this is the time to join our heads together. All these bridges, they have not been helping us. The competition that we have now in Northern Nigeria is bridge. Any governor that comes in power, build bridge. Name it after you and after the person that you admire. Meanwhile, there are people in your state that are not educated. The educational system in Northern Nigeria is in the dustbin. Our security in the dustbin. If they say today, feed yourself, what's going to happen to us? This is a call to action for every northerner.
You heard that. Great message from that young lady there. And some northerners who appreciate this message and her delivery have offered to translate the message to Hausa for the illiterate population. Enlightening the average poor, illiterate, and brainwashed northerner is not an easy thing to do because that region is very dangerous politically. So I give kudos to this lady for her effort. This is the kind of campaign we are taking to the grassroots. We did a little bit of it before the last election, but it is going to be much more bigger this time around. Let's take some tweet reactions to this video. Concerned citizen says make she stay safe before they accuse her of blasphemy. That's something they can easily do. Anthony Aja says strong message, wake up Arewa. And Viston says Peter Obi's message is sinking well. Show me where northerners or Christians buy bread cheaper. The point is absolutely clear. We all go to the same market. That is it. We all suffer the same oppression by this same political class. That is why we need to unite to kick them out. Now, let us look at that revelation, that statement coming out from the United Nations about northern Nigeria. Look at how the papers reported it. Imminent mass hunger looms in Nigeria's northeast over funding gap, UN. The United Nations has issued a warning about the escalating food insecurity crisis in Nigeria's northeastern region, which is grappling with the devastating impacts of ongoing insurgency. According to the UN's resident coordinator, the humanitarian agency is facing critical challenges in securing the necessary funding to address the severe food shortages that threaten to trigger widespread hunger and potentially fatal consequences. In April, the United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs and Nigeria jointly launched a $306 million appeal aimed at assisting 2.8 million people in Borno, Adamawa, and Yobe states. The region have been severely affected by a 15-year Islamist insurgency, with the appeal targeting the lean season, the period of highest food scarcity. Mohammed Malik Fall, head of OCHA, told Reuters that despite Nigeria's initial commitment of $11 million and another $11 million from the UN Center pool, reaching the target was challenging due to hesitancy among international donors. We are far from where we want to be. That is something we are confronted by even beyond the lean season, which is what we have noticed, that humanitarian assistance to Nigeria is shrinking. In the best case scenario, Fall expects to receive just $300 million, a sharp decrease from the $500 million obtained last year, citing the economic effects of COVID-19 on major donors as the primary cause of the decline. Gaza, Ukraine, and Sudan have all emerged in the past 2 years, which makes it difficult to maintain the same pace of funding, Fall said. The situation is further worsened by Nigeria's most severe cost of living crisis in decades, with inflation surpassing 33% and food prices rising over 40%. However, he warns that without immediate intervention, the consequences of food insecurity in Nigeria's northeast could be catastrophic. Meanwhile, UNICEF data from April indicates that over 120,000 children have already been admitted for treatment of severe acute malnutrition in the region, surpassing the annual target of about 90,000. The cost of inaction has many folds, with the most pressing being an excess mortality among children, Fall said. Oh, look at what the APC has turned Nigeria into. We can no longer feed ourselves as the supposed giants of Africa. We now have to rely on every other country, on individuals to donate to us. And now they are saying the donations to Nigeria is shrinking. Other emergencies have emerged in the world, and I'm telling you that apart from the emergencies in Ukraine and Gaza, another reason why donations are shrinking is because our people embezzle these monies when they are donated. I am telling you. And these people are not fools. They even know about us more than we know about ourselves. So you cannot feed your population. Individual donors and governments from other countries donate, and then you still go and embezzle the money. What kind of madness is this? And look at how Nigerians reacted. Look at some of the tweet reactions. This tweet here says, good news, Muslim ticket is working. The northern Nigeria is going to enjoy the fruits of the labor, which is Muslim tickets. Let me drink and forget about Nigeria. One bottle of life is okay for me. Oh, and Adeyemi Bironke here says, it be like the mass hunger games na nationwide something. Oh, I bought 5,000 naira suya recently, and it be like 200 naira suya of those days. All other basic food items are the same, and we've gone from renewed hope to imminent hopelessness. And Azuna replied, he said, you still dey buy 5,000 naira suya for this economy. It means you are a privileged person. And this tweet by Umbed says, the problem today is not just that palliative distribution is only encouraging unproductive consumption. The bigger problem is what happens after the palliatives is exhausted and farm production doesn't still improve with the menace of insecurity and poor support to farmers. That is it. You can gather money, $11 million, and, buy foodstuffs and share. But is that sustainable? Is that how people are going to continue living their lives? And Idara here says, but Shetima and Tinubu are building villas and buying airplanes. APC is a disgrace to Africa. Absolutely. And this tweet here says, this is not a proper assessment. Imminent hunger looms all over Nigeria. Wow. Zah says, what can we say we benefit from democracy if we happen to be starved to death? Many poorer nations are not facing these threats. Why are there motherland? Well, it is because of the APC. The APC can destroy anything. Take them to America, and in 2 or 3 years, they will completely destroy all the institutions. And that is why I keep preaching to Nigerians that for us to have our freedom and exist as normal human beings, we must unite and kick these guys out of power. But until then, make I still enter town. Make I go get some ogbonge political news wey una go like. Why? Because of una. Now I dey here, so don't go away.